First of all, thank you everyone for joining. Today's sessions is about how we can maximize together applications to Germany and specifically with Macromedia University of Applied Sciences. Super excited for this session. Wanted to welcome and thank everyone for joining. During this webinar, we will discover Germany to make sure that you have all the tools you need in order to promote Germany as a new destination for your students and also to promote Macromedia University to your students. So you can write your questions in the Q&A section on this webinar, and also you can add your questions in the chat section as well. We will try our best to answer any questions you might ask, whether will be on the platform or here live on the webinar as well. In case we cannot cover some of the questions, or if you do have specific questions about, for example, student cases and so forth, please reach out to your account manager from ApplyBoard, and they will be happy to help and support you with any of the questions and inquiries that you. A little reminder, at the moment, Germany is live to our Platinum and Gold recruitment partners. If you are not part of those, if you're not part of those recruitment partners with access to Germany yet, just so you know, the full access will be shared in April during our top recruiter workshop happening in April in India. However, if you do have students, if you are interested in in submitting applications to Germany, please let your account manager know and we will share access with you as well. Going back to the webinar today, so we're going to go through some short introductions. We are then passing the microphone to our partner university, Macromedia, and we will then go ahead with some Q&A sections. To begin with, I'll briefly introduce myself. My name is Flavia. I work as Associate Director for Europe, and specifically for Germany as well. And I work at ApplyBoard. With me today, who's the Director of Business Development at Macromedia University. Hi, Wasim.
Hello, good afternoon.
Awesome, there we go. I will then stop sharing and I'll pass the screen to my colleague, Wasim.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you very much, Flavia, for the introduction. Give me just 1 second. I assume you can see the screen? Yes?
We can, thank you.
Perfect. First of all, welcome to the info session. I would like to express our gratitude also to Flavia, of course, for inviting us to participate in such an event. It's a pleasure always to recruit students internationally, of course, especially as an internationally oriented university, but also to have the opportunity to speak to so many different agents from so many different places as well. Today, or before I go into the agenda, allow me to introduce myself as well. My name is Wasim Al-Kadi. I think some of you, I've seen the names, some of you we have met as well in the past. I've been with the Macromedia for 2 years and 2 months, more or less. But I've been in the industry for over 15 years. Okay, so I'm a regular ISAF visitor, etc., or participant. I'm sure we have crossed paths in the last few years for sure. I'm also guest lecturer at Macromedia, but also at my previous places, specialized in sales strategies and operations and planning. And I have also had 2 publications published over the past few years. Anyway, let's go through the agenda. I will first of all dig deeper into Germany as a study destination, okay, before trying to introduce Macromedia to you and telling you more about some of the USPs we have and some of the arguments you can use to promote Macromedia to your students or prospects. So why Germany actually? Let me start with this slide, okay? So whenever you go to fairs or you meet agents, etc., and you ask them what comes into your mind when you think about Germany, okay? Very often you hear beer, Oktoberfest. You also often hear about German cars, okay? Very often Mercedes, BMW, Porsche, which are mentioned on a regular basis whenever people think about Germany, okay? However, the most important thing here on the slide is actually the phrase on the bottom of the slide, and it's the Made in Germany. Okay, what does Made in Germany stand for? Okay, when people think about made in Germany, it's almost synonymous with the high quality craftsmanship, innovation, also reliability, which is very often considered when you think about made in Germany. So these are typical traits when you think about Germany, okay? Reliability, high quality, and this also translates into the higher education industry, okay? Because here in Germany, we don't have any natural resources, okay? So the country, all it has is actually brains, it's actually science, it's universities that actually generate the competencies and the knowledge among its workforce to be able to produce and manufacture goods such as the ones you see here on the slide. Okay, I'm not sure, not all people prefer German cars, I think, but most people would love to have a German car, maybe own a German car over many other cars around the world. However, the interesting part for students when they come to Germany is that in order to be successful here in Germany, you don't necessarily need to graduate and work for one of these big brands like Porsche or Volkswagen and Mercedes, but something that is possibly not that known around the world is that Germany has actually a big number of small and medium-sized organizations and enterprises that are global leaders in their industry. Okay, so what it means is, and these are known here in Germany as the German Mittelstand, okay, so the medium-sized enterprises, which are very often family-owned, have a size of 200 to 700 employees on average, okay. Companies like, for example, Ritter Sport, which in all duty-free shops, one of the best chocolates possibly worldwide in its particular industry, a leader, Stork. I'm not sure whether you're all familiar with Stork, but Stork produces sweets as well, a market leader in its particular industry. So when you come to Germany as a student and you graduate, as I said, you don't need necessarily to work for Mercedes. You have actually in almost every region in Germany, nationwide, in some place, a leader in its own industry, which means, especially for international students, and these companies that you see on the slide here are all export oriented. There are many opportunities for international students in particular to find a really good position, international position also after graduation. Which takes me to Germany. Okay, so made in Germany is a phrase that has been partly responsible for Germany's growth in terms of becoming an international student destination. Okay, over the past 10 years, Germany has become very attractive. Actually, the actual number of international students more than doubled since 2011, from 180,000 back in 2012 and 13 to almost 380,000 in 2024. So that's doubling the number of international students in a matter of 10 years, which is, of course, a huge success story. Okay, and if you look only at the numbers in 2023, we had soon after Corona already 82,000 newly enrolled international students at German universities. Okay, these are newly enrolled internationals, which makes Germany the number 4 destination internationally. Okay, after USA, UK, and Australia. What has become, of course, or let's say, Germany's economy has, of course, suffered a little bit over the past 2 years, and it's a point that I would like to reiterate here as well, because, of course, in media, globally, Germany has suffered a little bit. We are a bit in a crisis, or we have been in a crisis a little bit, especially Germany's economy, if you look at the last 2 years. But the economic outlook is quite positive. Okay, so the economy is expected to bounce back, especially after the elections that took place last Sunday, actually. For those who have followed the elections we had in Germany, the CDU is actually a party that not only won the elections, but they are considered to be the most competent party when it comes to economic growth. Okay, that's the party of Angela Merkel, possibly all of Angela Merkel as well. And the successor, Friedrich Merz, is someone that has a very strong business background as well, and has already a very good plan for Germany's economy to grow. So there's very positive outlooks, and also, of course, especially for students who come here to pursue a good career after graduation. So why do international students select Germany as a study destination? Okay, as I said, despite economic challenges, the number of international students has grown. If we look at the student base here at Macromedia, especially, almost all our international students have a part-time job as well. So despite these economic challenges, it didn't really affect student jobs. It didn't really affect us in a way that turned into mass unemployment, etc. So the German economy, living within it, feels okay. The mini recession we had over the past 2 years needs to be mentioned, however, still. So students come to Germany especially due to low or no tuition fees. Okay, and if you look at the prices of Macromedia, and I will come to it later, doing a bachelor program at Macromedia is like doing a 1-year master in London, as an example. So very affordable. Germany's universities have a very good reputation. I mentioned to you that in Germany we don't have natural resources, so all we need is competency and a very strong and skilled labor force, and universities participate or contribute to it, of course. Employment opportunities are massive. Okay, so we have at the moment 2.5 million jobs or vacancies that companies cannot fill Germany-wide, which means the opportunities for graduates in particular is very high. Post-study work permits, okay, whereas you see, if you look at the United States or other study destinations, they're becoming more restrictive, less welcoming to international students. In Germany, it's exact opposite, because we need skilled labor, and that is also why Germany is trying to get more and more migrants into the country. So post-study work permits, meaning 18-month post-study work visa, which will be granted automatically. Living expenses are still comparably low in Germany. Okay, if you look at Berlin, studying in Berlin is roughly 60 to 70% cheaper than studying in Paris, as an example. Many students nowadays also claim that they have family or friends here in Germany. Okay, with the rising international student number, that is not a surprise. And the quality of life, of course. Okay, so when there are many surveys, indexes from different organizations worldwide, normally you always find 3 to 4 cities among the most livable cities globally. And in almost all ranks, you find Munich, you find Frankfurt, you find Berlin and Hamburg. Okay, so very high living standards for students, especially after graduation as well. So finally, that's it about Germany. A very attractive study destination. But who is Macromedia University? So Macromedia University of Applied Sciences is a university that was founded back in 2000. So we are going soon to celebrate our 20th year in existence. We are a private, state-accredited German university with campuses in Munich, Stuttgart, Berlin, Hamburg, Leipzig, Cologne. We have all in all 9 campuses, of which 2 are mainly international campuses, the one in Berlin and the other in Munich. And in all our other locations like Hamburg, Leipzig, Düsseldorf, we actually teach mainly in German language. Okay, in Berlin, we teach in German language, but we have also fully taught programs, bachelor's and master's in English. We have at the moment around 7,000 plus students from about 85 nationalities, compared to 2 years ago, where we had 5,500 students. That the Macromedia University is growing at an over-proportional high rate. And this is also due to the fact that we offer quite a good number of specializations and degree programs. Okay, so the Macromedia University is not only growing in terms of locations, but also in terms of its portfolio. Okay, so we have introduced a few degrees over the past 2 years, to which I will come in a few minutes. The fields of expertise, of course, are media and journalism. Okay, Macromedia is often internationally considered to be a university that is focused only on media and arts. Okay, however, we also offer many more programs. Okay, like digital technologies and design, games, filmmaking, fashion, sports, psychology. Okay, however, the biggest programs we have here at Macromedia are the management programs: business management, fashion management, brand management. These are the biggest programs we have here at Macromedia if we look at the student numbers. We have 2 intakes per year. The summer semester starts normally on the 15th of March. Okay, so that's going to be our next intake in 2.5 weeks. By the way, students can still apply for it. The winter semester starts on the 1st of October, and goes all the way to the 14th of March. So our semesters are 6 months long normally, of which 16 weeks of teaching time is offered. University recognition accreditations are, as I just mentioned, granted at Macromedia University. It is a very important aspect because we see lately that even German embassies focus more and more on issuing visas only to students who are actually applying to state accredited universities and also to state accredited programs. Okay, so Macromedia's programs, masters and bachelors, they are all accredited. So all students can be reassured that studying at Macromedia is at least of the very same standard as at public university. Which programs do we offer? So we have two different schools here at Macromedia. We have a culture, media, and psychology school. Okay, here I only mention the English taught programs. Okay, we have, as I mentioned, also German taught programs. The English taught programs in the culture, media, and psychology school are filmmaking, media communication management, brand management, music management, and also acting. Then we have also business design and technology school, media and communication design, a very popular program, business management, fashion design, and also digital technologies and coding, with 3 specializations such as software engineering, artificial intelligence, and also UI UX design. On the master level, we have the same schools on offer, okay, and here you see programs like media communication management, which run really well, especially the one in Munich, digital media business, music management, okay, programs that are slightly niche even, however, attract quite a good number of students because not many universities in Germany offer these programs. On the other hand, you have business management, strategic marketing. We have a fantastic MBA as well, which can be studied in 3 or 4 semesters and is actually very affordable. Okay, I'm focusing on the MBA a little bit because for 11,000 euro per year, students can actually do an MBA in Munich. For 13,000 euro a year, they can actually do one MBA in Berlin. And there are not many universities that offer an MBA at a more affordable price. We have scholarships available to international applicants. We are quite generous actually when it comes to scholarships to international applicants. Our international students partly pay a little bit less than our domestic students. The main reason is also that we want to turn Macromedia into a much more international university. I mentioned on one of my previous slides that we have around 7,000 students at Macromedia, of which only 1,500 students are of international backgrounds. Okay, that's very untypical for private universities because domestic students have, of course, a much easier access to public universities. However, it shows you that Macromedia is quite a strong university and one with a very good reputation, if even domestic students choose Macromedia at such a high rate. Here we, on this slide, the main DNAs of Macromedia University. I will not focus on all of them because it would possibly take way too long. However, I would like to dig a little bit deeper into industry orientation because one of the main reasons that students actually choose Germany as a study destination is actually the career prospects. Okay, so for them, in various surveys, whenever students are asked, why did you choose Germany as a study destination, they claim that it's because of the career perspectives. Okay, I'm mentioning this because if you ask students why they choose the United States or Canada, very often they claim that the scholarships attracted them most to go and study in both countries. In Germany, it's really the career. Okay, and due to the fact that the career perspectives play such an important role, as a student, you should, of course, make sure that you choose a university that is not offering only a practice-oriented curriculum, but is actually has very strong ties to the industry. Okay, and at Macromedia, this is guaranteed. Okay, so you see here on the right-hand side of the slide some project partners. Okay, however, we have about 500 globally and renowned brands that are regular partners in projects with Macromedia. Okay, so the practice-oriented approach that we have also means that students must actually conduct a work placement in semester 5. That's built into each study program we have here at Macromedia. So all undergraduate students need to go in semester 5 or in semester 6 into a study, into a work placement semester, which gives them that experience which is required in order to come back to us, do your thesis, and then graduate. Okay. What is also very interesting is that Macromedia is the second strongest private university here in Germany when it comes to its graduates opening up or launching their own businesses. Okay, so the entrepreneurial spirit is encouraged here at Macromedia. We even have a learning expedition group in which we actually foster entrepreneurial spirit within our student community. Okay, the Lexi, as we call it, or the learning expedition, is actually a group of professors, entrepreneurs, and students. Okay, and this expedition, they meet up on a regular basis in Munich, Berlin, or Paris, and these in workshops they then start brainstorming. They go through various business plans, business ideas of our students. Students can directly speak to experts from the industry or to professors to get legal advices as well, as an example. And that in this learning expedition, we also have prizes which are awarded to students. Okay, and if you are a student that has the best business idea, Macromedia even encourages you to go ahead with your business idea by granting them a 3,000 euro prize award. Okay, for the second best idea, we award actually 2,000 euro, and for the third best business idea, we award actually 1,000 euro. Okay, as a startup fund for those who are really going ahead with starting up their business. That the fact that we are the second best university in this particular field doesn't come at a surprise. We are actually encouraging it and fostering it by having this learning expedition. Here you see some testimonials. Okay, for example, BMW did 2 years ago conducted a project together with Macromedia in the field of how to attract Generation Z in the future. Together with the students, a campaign was designed and generated and created, and it finally resulted into a strategy for BMW to become very attractive for Generation Z in the future. Okay, so they call it themselves how to build future BMW junior groups. Okay, we also have Airbus regularly as project partners at Macromedia. Here, the plan was especially to build concepts of change communication. Nowadays, management systems, digital transformation, all these particular fields of interest have become more and more important for organizations. And here, together in a project, they helped Airbus to design a strategy for the future and to support them with change communication projects in particular. Another big German organization specialized in software. Of course, also software is changing very quickly. ChatGPT or AI will have a major effect on software as well in the future. So here it was a project between SAP and Macromedia in which software solutions and their design in the future were worked on together. Okay, so a very interesting project within the MA Design Management program. Here, a little example of our alumni. Okay, yeah, please.
Sorry,
I'm done. I need 1
I
minute.
just wanted to let you know that I personally can no longer see the slide. So perhaps if you could try to share again. I'm not sure what happened.
Oh, okay, it's shared actually. Let me.
Okay, I can see people. The attendees can see it. Apologies for
they can see it. Okay, good.
For interrupting.
But let me share it again. Okay, sorry for that.
Oh, the attendees can see it, so it's all good.
Okay, good.
Great.
All right. So yeah, I'm almost done. Anyway, so SAP, that was the last one we had. Yeah, here you see some examples of alumni again in our Master of Design Management program. I'm trying to focus today a little bit on this program because this program is actually one of which generates the most successful graduates we have. Okay, a master program that is very often underestimated, especially by agencies. Okay, who focus much more on promoting programs like business management and other management programs, which are possibly easier to sell. However, if you see very ambitious students who don't necessarily want to go with the mass, I can always recommend MA Design Management. Okay, it's not a program that is not fruitful. It's actually the exact opposite. If you look at these examples here, that almost all of them, and international students as well, work for organizations that are quite prestigious. Okay, one of them is even part of the German Parliament, German Bundestag, PwC, Pandora, Google. These are workplaces that are not exclusive to those students. We have actually quite a few number of alumni that work for renowned organizations such as these. Yeah, that's it from my side. Thank you very much for your attention. I hope I didn't speak too fast. If you have any questions, I'm very happy to answer them. And thank you very much. Over to you, Flavia.
Thank you so much, Wasim. That's been super, super helpful. And we have received a lot of questions. But before we move to the questions asked by our audience, I wanted to ask you, if you were an international student, what would be the first reason why you would choose to study in Germany? And what would be the first reason why you would choose to study at Macromedia University?
Okay, again, if you ask me personally, I love football. Okay, so if Germany is a football country, but not only for professionals, like you see that in many other countries, but here in Germany is one of the best countries when it comes to recreational activities after work. Okay, so very well organized recreational activities here in Germany. So as a sporty guy, I would choose Germany for that, and due to its economy, of course. Okay, Germany is the third largest economy, despite the fact, and sorry for sounding like a broken record, despite the fact that we don't have any national resources. Okay, there's absolutely nothing that we have here, unlike USA, unlike China. Okay, that thanks to the skilled labor we have here and workforce we have here in Germany, it is a top country economic wise. Okay, and since I'm quite ambitious as well, I would choose Germany for this reason. I would choose Macromedia because of the industry orientation. Okay, so the practice-oriented approach is something that students, especially of international backgrounds, often like. Okay, the public universities are very often very theoretical. Okay, what we see with international students is that this practice-oriented approach is really something that benefits them. It's much more similar to the way they were taught back in the home country compared to the public universities here in Germany, which are very theoretical. Okay, sorry for the long answer.
That was brilliant. Thank you so much, Wasim. We will now go through the questions that we received through the Q&A section and also through the chat. So if you have more questions, please send them over. We'll try our best to answer to everybody. I will start with some of the questions that we received in the Q&A section. So in regards to the English certificate requirement in order to study at Macromedia, could you let us know what are the most popular certifications that are accepted by Macromedia, and also including whether you accept Duolingo? And if you could give us a little bit of more details on what kind of level of English is required for the admissions to your courses at both undergraduate and postgraduate level.
Okay, cool. The IELTS is the most common. Okay, you can say 95% of our students apply with an IELTS test. The minimum level is 6.0. It has been 5.5 until very recently. Also for the March intake, which is coming now, it's 5.5, but it will be increased to 6.0. Okay, we recommend IELTS, although we also accept Duolingo, we do accept Pearson, we accept also Cambridge. We also accept MOIs. So if someone in his past institute, whether it's bachelor level or secondary school, if they were taught in English, then we also accept that if there's proof. Okay. However, the German embassies are not that easygoing anymore. We also always recommend a TOEFL or IELTS test in order to not only pass through us, but also pass when it comes to the visa application. Okay. So Duolingo, yes. but we do not recommend it in certain regions because the German embassy will not accept it.
Brilliant.
Okay, so it's
Thank you
B2,
so
you can say, for English taught programs. It's C1 for German taught programs.
Thank you so much. You also answered the following question I had in regards to the MOI, but as you mentioned, yes, MOIs will be accepted as well. Is there another question we have received is whether there is any limit in terms of age to access undergraduate and postgraduate courses?
No, there's no limit. Okay, so from the age of 16, you can apply and study with us. From 16 to 18, you would always need a guardianship. Okay, we do have guardians. Okay, but there's no age limit. Okay, we only had a few days ago someone applying with 57 years of age. Okay, for a bachelor program even. So that's not uncommon. Okay, we see actually an increase of 50 plus applicants over the past few years.
Thank you so much. You can tell that Macromedia is open to any age groups, which is wonderful. In terms of the financial stages, if you could give us a bit more clarity in regards to how much the tuition fees are, and also how much is required if you have any deposits that will need to be paid in order to confirm the student's place at the university. If you could also touch on the block account as well, so all the financial aspects in a way.
Okay, blocked account to start with. Okay, and the blocked account is almost 12,000 euro. That's the amount that needs to be blocked before you go and apply for a visa. The yearly tuition fee at Macromedia for bachelors, it's 11,000 euro. Yearly tuition fee. However, as I said, we have scholarships available. When it comes to the master programs in Munich, it's also 11,000 euro. Okay, in Berlin, it's 13,000 euro, 13. Okay, Berlin is a bit more expensive than Munich for master programs. So you have just to remember 11,000 and 13,000. 13,000 are the masters in Berlin. In terms of the deposit, we take a deposit of 2,500 euro. The deposit is fully refundable in the case of a visa refusal. If the student gets a visa, then the first semester tuition fee is applicable, needs to be paid. And that's then the difference between the deposit paid and the tuition fee.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. We also have a question in regards to whether the O levels are accepted by Macromedia.
Oh, that's a question that's quite specific. Here, the answers, again, it depends. For the March intake, yes, all right. From September onwards, it might be a bit more difficult because of regulation changes that take place here at Macromedia. Okay. However, as a rule of thumb, you can always say that as long as students are eligible to study in their home country at HE level, they are also eligible to study at Macromedia. Okay, that's a rule of thumb. However, then we need to look at the application in full in order to be able to make a final decision. Okay, but until now, yes, we have students who were admitted with an O level.
Thank you so much. Somebody also asked a really interesting question, and I'm sure we can also give a very new answer to that. So somebody asked recently, there was news in regards to the very long waiting time in order to lodge the visa and apply for the visa. I know that very recently there's been a lot of changes. So would you like to comment on that, on the visa turnaround times?
Yes, of course. It's a bit funny, but yes, Germany is finally digital. Okay, we are very happy of it. But there's a digital platform now from the Foreign Ministry, and students in many countries, not all yet, can actually submit their visa application documents online. Okay, they are then going to be invited to the embassy once the documents have been submitted completely and have been successfully reviewed by them. Okay, so we have had students even in countries where it has taken ages before to get a decision. We have had students who got the decision lately within 4 to 7 days. Okay, so that's hopefully a major improvement. Unfortunately, again, the digital platform is not applicable around the world, but I think we have also some Nigerians here. The Nigerians have suffered a lot in the last few years. Okay, in Nigeria, in Lagos especially, you can also submit a digital application now, which is actually a major success story. Okay, considering the waiting time that Nigerian students had. However, that applies almost to all countries around the world. Also, India has improved a lot over the past few days, okay, with very fast visa decisions now. I'm not able to share the link now, however, just Google it maybe. It's a digital platform and you can just log in and you find also YouTube videos actually explaining the new process. Okay.
That's brilliant and absolutely exciting, since this new process will really help students and our recruitment partners with the visa processes. So that's definitely going to help and support students massively in their visa applications. We have also some questions in regards to some other entry criteria. Do you accept, do you have any limitations on whether students have had study gaps?
Yes, of course. It's also very common to have study gaps. The only thing you need is you need to be able to explain what you did during the study gap. Okay, if you didn't do anything, okay, then it's a bit more difficult to be admitted than if you were doing something very useful. Okay, however, again, for Macromedia, that's not much of an issue. Okay, we normally then interview students. Normally, you find them very motivated. Okay, you need to be able to explain to the embassy why you had a gap. Okay, that is the main reason why students need a CV that doesn't have any gaps, or if there are gaps, they are explained at least. Okay.
Thank you so much. In regards to the MOI, you said you accept MOIs. Is that covered for throughout different areas? Because we received specific questions in regard to Pakistan. And also, if you will be able to share with us the list of accepted MOIs.
The list of accepted MOIs?
Sorry, the list of institutions where you can accept the MOI from.
Okay, it's quite straightforward. So if it's your former university or your secondary school, okay, high school. So from them, we would accept, okay.
Okay, thank you so much. We'll share that. I'm going through some of the other questions. So there's some questions also in regards to the visa related questions, actually. I'm not sure if you will be able to cover that, Wasim, otherwise we will answer this separately and offline with our network. Would you be able to share anything in regards to whether students can bring their spouse and their dependents while they're studying in Germany?
Yes, it's unlike in other study destinations. First of all, the student needs to travel first. After 6 months here in Germany, they can then invite their spouses as an example. However, please be careful. I would love to answer the question to your satisfaction. However, every single embassy seems to be a bit different. Okay, the difficulty with Germany is that there are so many exceptions. Okay, so if you go to the main website of the German Foreign Ministry, you will see the main visa rules, and then you see a list of exceptions. I think there are so many exceptions that we find it very difficult to formulate that or summarize that in one document. So if I refer to Mexico as an example, you travel to Germany first, and after the first semester, you can invite your spouse. They can then follow. However, this rule doesn't apply to every single country globally. Okay. It's not like in the US where you get an F1 visa and or the I-20 and then you have the spouse names in there. It's not similar. It's different.
Thank you, Wasim. Also, somebody is asking in regards to the scholarships. If you would like, I know you've already covered this through your slides. If you would like to add anything in regards to the scholarship opportunities and what are the requirements in order to be eligible for each of the type of scholarships.
Normally work with regional scholarships. Okay. The best is to really contact ApplyBoard to get more details about this via your regional contact. Okay. The only scholarship we have which applies globally is actually the academic merit scholarship. If your student had or your applicant had a minimum GPA of 85% in their previous studies, then they are eligible for a 25% scholarship on total tuition fees. The other ones are regional scholarships. However, they range between 10 and 20% on total tuition fees.
Going through some other of the questions, somebody else is asking about the tuition deposit. I know you already covered this. I believe it was the first semester that will need to be paid in order to confirm the place, right?
Sorry, again?
How much is the tuition deposit in order for students to confirm their
2,500 euros.
2,500 euros.
500 euros, exactly.
Going through some more of the questions. So what would be the next intake available for students that would like to start submitting an application now?
It's actually in 2 weeks, okay? So the 15th of March is the next intake, okay? We can actually accept applications until next week, all right? We can also accept applications later if the likelihood is high that students can really start, okay? And they can really start by the end of April, okay? So the first 6 weeks after the start of the semester are always taught in hybrid mode, meaning students can, even if they have not got the visa yet, they can join the classes online at least, okay? Because visa delays is a big issue in Germany. And after the 6 weeks, the students should really be here in order to continue the semester.
Thank you so much. Somebody else, yes, thank you. Somebody else was asking if you could confirm whether the Duolingo test can also be used for the visa application.
The German embassy will not, in most cases, not accept it. Okay, we have mainly non-visa students who do the Duolingo. Okay, so if you have Brazilian, Salvador, Honduran students, they can do the Duolingo because they don't need to apply for a visa before coming here. However, an example is an Indian student. Okay, the Duolingo will definitely not be accepted by the German embassy.
Somebody is asking specific questions for West Africa and Nigeria specifically, and whether the WASCE can be used instead of the MOI, the WASCE, I believe it's called.
Where is this question again?
I can write it.
Oh, can you repeat it, Flavia? One more time. I think the connection
definitely.
is not.
Yeah, the person that asked this question is referring specifically to Nigeria, and they're asking for applicants from English-speaking countries, for example, West Africa and Nigeria. I would like to know if WASCE or can be used instead of the MOI for undergraduate and graduate students.
Nigeria is one of the exempted countries, usually, okay? We sometimes do interviews, okay, sporadically, okay, because we also had cases where students' English was not that good, okay? We just, also Nigeria, I would always recommend to prepare yourselves as well as possible, especially since the German embassy has opened again for student visas, to possibly not try the shortcut, okay? Okay, but as I said, Nigeria is one of those countries which are normally exempted.
So the questions, which was super, super interesting. And I will proceed now with the next session. Next slide, please. So I wanted to invite all our attendees to our Top Recruiter workshop, which was going to happen in April on the 14th and 15th in Gurugram in India. Please join us, register, and to register, please contact your account manager from ApplyBoard so that you can get the tickets and access to the event. There will be a lot of sessions from institutions from all over the world, from all our destinations, as well as a lot of other service providers, such as blocked accounts, a lot of service providers from different types of destinations and supports given to students. As I said, please contact your account manager to register and join us to our Top Recruiter workshop in India. Thank you, everyone. I would like to conclude this session. A huge thank you to Wasim for your really informative session. We will be sharing the recording of this session with you, with all the attendees as well, so that you can review the session, learn more. And if you do have more questions after this, please reach out to your account manager from ApplyBoard, and we will try our best to answer any questions. Again, thank you so much to everyone, and I wish you a beautiful day.
Thank you very much too. Have a nice day.